Welcome to another episode of the Coffee Conversation Show powered by the Emerging India Forum, TIF, and our tech partner, Prime Infotech Solution. Series is The Emerging Lawyer, and theme is Empowering Businesses Through Strategic Tax Solutions. So we have with us Varun Chablani, Senior Associate at EMLTC Associate, a seasoned GCC tax strategist who has been at the forefront of helping businesses navigate the ever-evolving landscape of tax compliance and optimization. With his expertise spanning UAE Corporate Tax, GCC VAT, Oman and Saudi Arabia income tax, and international tax, Varun provides invaluable insights into how businesses can strategically plan their tax operations to achieve both cost savings and regulatory compliance. So, welcome, friends. It will be a lovely conversation to understanding the GCC tax landscape. It's Saturday afternoon, and Varun is in Dubai, and it's an international episode. So, welcome, Varun.
Thank you, Amir. I really appreciate it. How are you doing?
All good. So, let me explain you the format. There are 3 rounds. You must be aware of the 2 rounds. The professional, personal, but there is surprise rapid fire round. So where you have to be quick, fun, and witty, and you will get to win this book.
Shaping the Gen Z lawyer of the future. Cool.
Okay. So friends, I'm Lion Amir Virani, host at Coffee Conversation, legal tech evangelist at Prime Infotech Solution, and an author of 15 ebooks. So this is book also authored by me, which will be autographed and sent to you to your address. So my first question, Varun, how did you first get introduced to the field of taxation and what inspired to specialize in GCC tax strategy?
Thank you so much, Amir. After completing law school, I actually went into corporate law, and then complete fate of events, I got a call from Lakshmi Kumaran and Sridharan, a famous law firm in India for taxation, saying that can you come for an interview? And I said, sure. And I literally went to the High Court library and where you get these second-hand books just outside, and I started reading tax for the first time. And I went to the interview and I say that this is all I read. And this is my CV. Here's my interview. And they selected me and there was no going back since then. So that's what brought me into tax in India first. And then I did 3.5 years with Lakshmi Kumar, and then I went to another famous Indian law firm into tax, ELP, Economic Laws Practice. There I was actually seconded to a client. So that was also very, very interesting. At that point, I figured out that, I'd saved enough money to either get married or to buy a house or to do an LLM. So I chose to do the LLM. Which means that I don't have a house yet. And that's when I decided to go to University of Amsterdam to study LLM and international taxation. As fate would have it, Corona hit and there weren't any jobs available. So then I figured out, okay, what to do next. And then because of the other developments that were happening, which I'm happy to speak about, what had happened was that I figured that there will be a taxation system coming in the UAE. And that really what brought me to this region. So it's been a very fulfilling and a happy path leading over here.
Wow. Okay, let's continue the conversation. Can you walk through us a particularly challenging tax case you have worked on in the GCC region and how were you able to solve it?
At this point, solving a case itself doesn't completely get solved because the tax systems are still new. So unlike India, wherein you actually advise the client and then you test the advice before the court of law, and then you can say that, hey, this is a case that has been solved, that we haven't reached in let's say the UAE to that level. In VAT, to some extent it has happened, but in corporate tax, because it's just less than 1 year old and even the returns haven't been filed yet. So it's not like we've solved the case, but what we have done is taking reasonable positions that we believe that can be defended before the FTA. FTA is a federal tax authority. So in that sense, typically how we play, and without giving names of examples of clients, structures that we work on involve, for example, having a holding company in the UAE, having a subsidiary in a different country, then seeing the withholding over here with respect to the tax obligations in the UAE, and then overall we try to advise the client with a tax efficient structure, which at the same time complies with the letter and the spirit of the law. We are still in the testing phase for the most part, so we haven't solved it yet, but maybe a few years from now we'll get more and more clarity in terms of how to solve. There have been some cases wherein we have been able to solve more at a procedure level and even many times at a VAT level. So, for example, when we take a position before the FTA that input tax is available on a particular topic, on a particular expense, which is the equivalent of input tax credit in Indian GST. There, how we do it, we reason with the FTA, we talk to them, we explain with documentation on how it is for business purposes, etc. So, it's a little bit premature, this question at this point, but we are very much on the road to solving cases for our clients. And that's still work in progress.
Wow. So, Varun, how do you handle the delicate balance of providing tax optimization advice while ensuring that it remains fully compliant with regulatory standards?
Honestly, Amir, this is a concern that every single tax lawyer faces, and every single regulatory lawyer, every single compliance lawyer, every single funds lawyer, almost every lawyer faces this problem. It's a delicate balance indeed, particularly because when you're using treaties and when you're using any structure, there is a law in the UAE as well as in India, Saudi Arabia, UK, and all the other countries that says that if you're actually if you're doing a transaction purely from the basis of a tax point of view, then that transaction can be counteracted. Now, the OECD, with respect to this, actually talks about when a transaction can be counteracted, when a transaction is not to be counteracted, and what we do is we need to make sure that there's very robust documentation, whether by emails, whether by letters, whether by memos, or whether by business plans. We need to show that a transaction hasn't happened for tax purpose, and in case the tax authorities ask for it, then there needs to be enough evidence to show that the tax optimization that is happening is not coming from a tax purpose. It's difficult, and the quality of a lawyer in any country, particularly India, but also in the Gulf, depends on where you can draw the line, and that's something we're learning every day. But long story short, it's how robust your documentation is.
Wow. Okay, Varun, what role do you think tax advisory professionals play in fostering growth and development in emerging markets like the GCC?
So that's a very interesting question, Amit, because the IMF as well as the policies of the GCC countries here. So the GCC, by the way, Saudi, UAE, Qatar, Oman, Kuwait, and Bahrain. These are the 6 GCC countries, right?
Okay.
So many of these countries have actually brought out policies to say that they want to diversify their economy outside oil, right? Even though the oil prices are pretty high at this point, they still want to diversify. So even the IMF, the International Monetary Fund, has actually recommended that they overhaul their tax system. The OECD, the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. So the international organizations are also encouraging the region, plus the region themselves realize it. So more and more, you can expect that the public finances, which were traditionally sponsored by oil revenues, is now going to be diversified. And certainly tax has a very, very big role to play in it.
Wow. Okay. Varun, with your extensive expertise in international taxation, how do you ensure that businesses meet both local and international tax compliance requirements?
Okay. So let's now get to this question. One is corporate tax and one is VAT. In corporate tax, you have the local law and then you have the treaty law. So you have the domestic law and the international law. Now, a country like the UAE actually has 100 plus treaties. So more often than not, at least when you look at the major countries, India, China, France, UK, so have treaties with these countries. The 2 major countries that don't have treaties, USA and Germany, right? Otherwise, more or less, you have. So under general principles, the international law overrides the domestic law. There are exceptions to that rule, and I'm sure we all studied that in law school. It gets at the practical level, the exceptions become more nuanced. As long as the benefit is available in a treaty, the domestic law will be overridden. So, in that sense, international and domestic both are complied with. Now, the second aspect is with VAT. When it comes to VAT, which is like GST in India, right? There, the tax is based on what is known as a place of supply, and that is based on where the movement of the goods start, or where the import happens, or where the supplier is located. So there are a few situations wherein, let's say I'm a German investor. Okay, I've come to the UAE and I've attended an event and I've bought some stuff for my business and I want refund because obviously the local VAT is charged. Whereas I'm not registered over here, so I can't take input tax on it. So it's a cost for me. It's a business cost. Now, there are ways in which that business cost can be refunded if so. What the UN in Germany says is that hey, if you allow my businessman to take a refund in your country, you can allow my businessman to take a refund in my country. You get the idea, right? So, so in that sense, an international businessman coming to the UAE or a UAE businessman going to Germany can get a refund in that country. In that sense, the domestic and the international law is balanced, you know?
Yep. Super. So now, Varun, in your experience, how does tax technology, software, and automation play a role in enhancing efficiency and compliance in GCC tax operations?
So actually, there was an amendment that came in the law very recently in the UAE. And this amendment says that Q2 2026 is actually going to be e-invoicing, which means that right now the situation is quite similar to India, which already has adopted this. At this point, I can write an invoice by hand and I can give it to you as long as I pay VAT on it. Correct? That's going to change wherein I actually need to not only, it's not like I do a paper invoice and take a photo with my mobile, but it's actually an invoice that I upload into a certain system with a certain characteristic that gets verified with the FTA. So it's like a five pillar, five corner as they call integration system. So in that sense, that's coming up in 2026. Right now in the UAE, they're still trying to develop the technical specifications for it as of the date of this video. And that will come in vogue very quickly. It's already applicable in Saudi and also many European countries, India. So different countries have at different levels. In the UAE, it's going to start soon.
Wow. So, Varun, how do you stay updated with the rapidly changing tax laws and reforms in the GCC, especially with new digital tax developments?
I study 1 hour every day, non-billable work.
So, Varun, who has influenced you from the international tax law and from the GCC tax law legal professionals, or who you follow?
You don't follow. Okay, okay. You're not asking mentor, right? At this point, you're
You
asking
can
who.
you can for mentor who's influenced or he has made an impact. You can
Okay.
say
So,
anything. It's a three question.
oh, all right, all right. Thank you so much. Thank you. There are a lot of people. There are a lot of people. Parveen Dina is one partner. GTS Global Tax Services. Tuhin Chaturvedi is another. RSM Kuwait. Then there are few people on LinkedIn who I really like their content. Leonard Wagoner is one. And there are many other really good LinkedIn influencers in the tax industry, and I really get to learn a lot from them. Too many names to count. There is one person who I would like to give a shout out for, who has been a major impact for me. His name, and I'm sure you've heard of this gentleman as well. His name is Aditya Reddy. He is right now in PwC in Cayman Islands, and he is an awesome guy, very passionate, someone who likes to hustle and grind in the field of tax law, someone who's really looking out to be at the top. He's almost my age, maybe a couple of years younger, but same range. And if I have to pick one, it's him.
Yeah. So, for your information, Aditya is will be in India and will be doing Coffee Corner shoot in person on 21st December.
Many
So thanks for
congratulations.
that. And he's also excited like you to be featured, but in person, he's getting that gift of
Yeah,
Christmas gift.
yep, yes. Santa's coming.
Okay. So Varun, you recently won a Lex Falcon Award. So what was the award about and how was the experience?
So I went yesterday, and
Wow.
it was very nice. I'll show you the videos. So I thanked many of the mentors. There's a mentor that I thanked, Naresh Jangiani, who actually encouraged me to study in Amsterdam in the first place. Then a colleague of mine, Adina Sevelis, she was there with me to support me, and I did a lot of networking, met a lot of lawyers, many Indian lawyers as well as non-Indian lawyers, and I believe you also won the award in legal tech. When was that?
2022.
Hang on, I want to show you something.
Okay. I know what you're trying to be showing.
Oh my God, I had to actually buy a cover because my bag wasn't fitting on this. There you go.
Wow. Yeah,
And
please open. So people, young lawyers should, and so yeah. So this is the award, which same thing I also got. So it's like a, what do you say, a treasure memory. The way they have made it. So and awards inspire you, motivate you, and meet different people who contribute to your journey. So this coffee is also has contributed to many people because they are sharing their journey, their actions, their thinking, their what do you say, future plans, everything. So let's continue.
thank
So many
appreciate.
more awards uh, we you will wish. Sorry, we wish you okay, you win many more awards in the future. You have a long journey to go.
Thank you.
Now, Varun, my what do you say? Last two questions. How has technology helped you, and which legal tech tool has impacted your work?
ChatGPT. It makes life easier in terms of sending emails or in terms of not really sending emails, but in terms of clearing your head, without putting the confidential data into ChatGPT because that's like open. I don't know what the technical term is, but you get the idea. But in terms of actually saying that, hey, you know what, make this a little bit more formal, you know what, make this a little bit more kind. In that sense, it's very helpful. Another thing I use a lot is Grammarly. That's awesome. It's very good. Yeah.
Okay.
Grammarly is
Wow.
very, very good. Take the paid subscription, it's worth it.
Wow. Okay. Now, my last question. What advice would you give to young lawyers who want to practice in GCC area?
It's a brilliant market. Come over. It's an excellent market. It's so you can say that it's a town that has the attitude of getting shit done. So in that sense, it's a town wherein if you work hard, so there are some places wherein the people, it has a Bombay vibe, so to speak. There are some places that, uh, wherein, let's say if a guy's working hard, then the other people kind of put him down. Hey, why are you working hard? You want a nicer car. That's not here in Dubai. Yes, I do want a nicer car. I do want a nicer house. That's the idea. So it's a brilliant market to work if you're willing to put the efforts. You definitely should come here.
Wow, superb. So, viewers out there, young legal professionals who want to uh, shift to GCC region, watch this episode. Lot of insights Varun will is shared, and now how GCC area Dubai is that also will be coming up in the personal round. So let's begin. So Varun, tell us about your family and your formative years.
So mom, dad, and sister. Sister was the elder sister, 9 years elder. I had a very happy childhood, all good. I was actually, when I was small, I was kind of a math genius, which is what right, when we were kids and your parents are like, beta English bolo, So for me, it was beta, what is 326 into 287? And then I would look into the eyes and be like, whatever, this is the answer. Then as a kid, I actually got asthma.
Mm-hmm.
So the doctor said, you know what, make this kid go easy. So mom bought me a video game. And I was probably the only kid in my friend circle who was allowed to play as much video game as I could. So, so then I kind of, because they kind of told me that, hey, you know what, take the studies and everything easy, don't worry so much about it. Asthma is more important. So that got cleared when I was maybe 10 years old or so. And then what had happened was that uh, I started getting more and more interested in geography, and therefore also my interest in terms of living in other countries and learning about other cultures and all of that. At the age of 14 to 15, this was around 2005, is when I started actually getting deep into the internet, because that's when Wikipedia and YouTube, those were the new things at that time, and I was really excited to learn more and more and more. And at one point, I was reading so much and so much and so much that I just kind of knew a lot of things about a lot of things. I don't know why, but I just had it. So that led me to law school, and that's when I went to GNLU, Gujarat National Law University, which I'm still associated with. I'm a teacher over there, guest teacher on international tax. But overall, I'm a happy childhood. I'm very, very blessed.
Wow. So one more affinity. I have done coffee with Professor Tarun. He teaches sports law at Gujarat National Law University.
Oh, is it? Okay. Congratulations.
So it's a small world, so we get connected. So
Yeah.
okay. So now tell us about your experience, your actions at JNLU and at University of Amsterdam.
Okay. So GNLU, we used to do the studies, the moods, the publications, all the stuff that they teach in law, you need to make a certain GPA to get a certain internship. So that grind was there. What I also did apart from that is, obviously this was the college days and we had the three idiots kind of a mindset back then, Amir Khan and Madhavan and who's the other guy? I forgot. So then what had happened was, so every weekend I actually used to go to some different corner of either Gujarat or one of the neighboring states, Maharashtra, Rajasthan, MP, and get into the general class train and eat in a dhaba, whatever it may be. So I did a lot of like low end traveling, so to speak. And also, I was a lot interested in helping my other classmates improve their legal knowledge, either from the GPA point of view to get a better grade, or from a mood point of view, or from projects or whatever it may be. So, in that sense, it was very nice. I did have a friend circle of Karmanya, Ron, Vijay, Toms. That was a gang we had. We had a lot of fun times. Played cricket and did some other things which I can't really say on this podcast, but it was nice. And then what else had happened was I joined committees and stuff. Occasionally, I was involved in some of the, more organizational activities. So overall, it was a very happy 5 years. I was very
Any
glad.
any message you want to give to your yeah, friends out there who would be then connecting with you again and they can have your boys night out.
No, 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 we're connected. We still,
Let's
we
just
still have,
now to the topic conversation. Any message you want to say to them?
guys, you're awesome.
Okay, so let's continue. Outside of your professional life, what is one passion or hobby that you dedicate time to?
I help a lot of people with getting jobs or improving their career, like reviewing the CV, helping them connect with people, helping them, in case they're down, being on the phone with them and saying that, hey, you know what, pull up your socks, get your shit together, figure things out. This is the next step. This is what you do. So a lot of my time actually goes, or In case someone wants a referral for business, then I connect with the other person. So a lot of my time goes off in connecting.
Okay, you're not. What do you say? In this business world, uh, the word is networker.
Yeah. And I also read a lot of books. So I like to read. So my favorite author is Bob Berg. You know,
Okay.
the one who did the Go Giver series. He writes very, very well. And based on how much remaining time is there, I either go for a swim or in the mornings, alternate days, I do a workout. So that keeps
Wow.
it.
Okay. Staying in Dubai, uh, tell us something about the food experience, your travel, the people, any places you would like to recommend who will be visiting Dubai, so they can go to these places of travel and food.
You can judge me right now, but I honestly don't know.
You have not went out.
That much, no. Because every time, like if it's like today's a Saturday or whenever this day off, so I don't really do much of the touristy places. Rather, I just go meet some friends for a cup of coffee, or it's I go to a mall or maybe watch a movie. I genuinely don't know.
Oh shit. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. So from your bucket list for 2024, what did you accomplish, complete, personal and professionally?
Amir has been a fantastic year for me, and I'm very, very blessed. I'm very, very blessed with everything that I've achieved. A lot of learnings, a lot of meeting great people, highly improved the relationships with the colleagues, very good on the personal life, recognitions, health has improved. I got to go back to GNLU to teach. I'm in touch
Hmm.
with people at University of Amsterdam. It's been this wood right here, the award that you saw, that's made of wood, so touch wood, it's been brilliant. And I got to meet you, it's been typically brilliant. In fact, you first referred Abhimanyu, isn't it?
Yeah,
So backstory is that I was helping Abhimanyu get a job in Dubai, and
I
and
know,
he
I know.
and he kind of he's one of the people who I was actually assisting, and we were working together in terms of how to do that, how to use LinkedIn and whatnot effectively. So because of people's kindness, I got to meet you, for example, and
That's why I said, nah, you are a good networker
I'm quite
and
fortunate.
helper and a friendly person.
Oh yes, I am. Thank you.
Okay, so my last question for this round. Describe Varun in one line. It's a
Get
googly.
shit done.
Can't hear you.
Get shit done.
Okay. So let's go ahead and have some fun. The rapid fire round. You're an early riser or a night owl?
Only resume.
Tea or coffee to kickstart your day?
Coffee.
So let's raise toast. A book or a podcast you'd recommend to anyone looking to grow professionally?
The Bobo. Bobo.
Loudly, loudly. It is
Bobo. My Bobo.
the best piece of professional advice you have ever received.
Don't speak more than what you have to.
Wow. Your go-to comfort food.
Super shawarma. You gotta try that in Dubai.
Okay. Your favorite color?
Green.
A fun fact about yourself that most people don't know.
Got that on my head. I'm quite happy about that.
Okay. So you did very well, and you will get this book delivered to you, autographed by me.
Thank
So,
you.
friends, it was a lovely conversation with Varun Chablani, who recently, yesterday, won Lex Falcon Award. And watch this episode for the GCC tax landscape, the compliance optimization. Yes, the laws are evolving over there. So anyone who wants to practice GCC tax law, this is the episode to watch for. Any companies who want to avail services for GCC tax compliance, connect with Varun Chablani. His details will be there in the captions of the Coffee Con show when this episode is published. So we have got over 250 plus episodes with different subject experts, different series. If you want to be featured like Varun, you visit our website, theemergingindiaforum.com, or on LinkedIn. We will, our team will connect with you and invite you to be featured as a guest speaker, having coffee conversation over a cup of coffee. So enjoy your Sunday. We meet with another coffee speaker and have interesting coffee conversation.
There's
Take
one
care.
last thing I would say. So, by the way, whoever's watching this, yeah, if you ever need any kind of support for your business, if you need references for lawyers, if you need technical help, if you need references like connections, for example, or if you want any kind of like if you're looking for a job either in Dubai or in India or even sometimes in the Netherlands where I lived for a couple of years, or generally if there's anything that I can do to improve your business, yeah, whatever that may be, please let me know. I will be honored to help you.
Thank you.